Good morning, everybody. It is Tuesday, March 25th, 2025. Man, I hope you guys are having a great morning. Hope you're getting ready for work and looking forward to an amazing day. I just want to take a minute and share a little bit about something that I think the Lord's been pointing out for a little while. And I mentioned it a couple weeks back in a message that I gave at church. But in 2 Timothy 3:13, it says that God is faithful even when we aren't faithful. And I want to encourage us this morning that we serve a faithful God. No matter, listen, His grace is sufficient. His grace covers everything. Now, this does not mean that we have free license to do as we please, to live any way that we want, to sin freely. Absolutely not. In fact, the fruit of actually stepping into His grace is righteousness. But no matter where we've gone, no matter what we've done, no matter how far we've gone down any path, I want to encourage you today. God is faithful. He is faithful. We're not trying to earn anything from God. We can't do anything good enough to get His love. He's given it freely. We can't do anything to earn salvation. He's given it freely. We can't do anything to earn His faithfulness. He is faithful because that is who He is. He is faithful. He has said, I am faithful. Regardless of whether or not you're faithful, I am faithful. Okay? Now, hear me. That doesn't mean that people get a free ride. Okay? That doesn't mean you get it. I mean, it is free. It doesn't cost us anything. But listen to this. It doesn't cost us anything to get salvation, except that it costs us everything. Jesus taught us that the cost of being His discipleship is everything. Now, there's nothing we can do to earn it, but we do have to pay. What do we pay with? We pay with our life. We give up our life. We give Him our life, and we step into the life that He's created us for, and He gives us His love. He gives us salvation. He gives us our purpose, the purpose that He created for us before we were ever created. He is faithful even when we aren't faithful. He is faithful to come through even if we haven't been faithful. All He's looking for is for us to stop and turn to Him. No matter what we're doing, no matter where we are, no matter what's going on in life, He's just looking for us to, just like Moses with the burning bush, He's just looking for us to stop and turn to Him. That's it. In John 16, it tells us that the Holy Spirit's job, what He does is He convicts the world of it. He convicts the world of its sin. He convicts of righteousness, and He convicts of the coming judgment. Okay, now if you go on to read verses 9 and 10, it tells us that He convicts the world, okay, unbelievers, of sin. He convicts believers of righteousness. And He convicts the enemy of God of the coming judgment. So what does that mean? All right. If you're not a believer, He's going to convict you of your sin. Okay? He's going to tell you, the Holy Spirit's going to tell you you're sinning. You're a sinner. You need Jesus. You need forgiveness. You are a sinner. Okay? If you're an unbeliever. If you were the enemy of God, meaning like the spiritual beings that turned on God and created this whole mess anyways, He convicts them of the coming judgment. He tells them judgment's coming. Your time is limited. It's coming. You better get ready. Okay? He convicts the believer of righteousness. Why is this important? Because if we follow Jesus, if our life is Jesus's life, we've given Him our life, so it's His. The Holy Spirit comes, and when we sin, when we're unfaithful, okay, God is still faithful. And when we're unfaithful, when we do something that we shouldn't have done, or when we haven't done something we should have done, okay, the Holy Spirit comes and convicts us of righteousness. The Holy Spirit comes and basically says this: I know that's what you did, or I know that's what you didn't do, but that's not who you are. You're a child of the Most High. You're a son of God. You're a daughter of God. That's who you are. I want you to act that way. Forget all that other mess. I want you to act as the person that you are. That's my favorite way to say that. It might have been what you did, but that's not who you are. I learned that from our senior pastor, Pastor John Sherrill. I have said that to my boys now. I know, listen, that might have been what you did, but that is not who you are. You're my son. And my son acts this way. This is how you act. Forget that. Let's move on from that. 100% of the time, 100% of the time in my life, when I have tried to fight temptation, when I have tried to use my own strength, my own will to either do the right thing or not do the wrong thing, okay? 100% of the time I end up falling. I end up messing up. Specifically when temptation comes. Okay, when temptation comes, if I step into fighting that temptation on my own, I fail 100% of the time. Okay, now there's been times when I haven't failed in that moment, but give it an hour, 2 hours a day, I'm going to end up failing. Okay, 100% of the time, if I take my focus off of what I shouldn't do, or doing what I don't want to do, or not doing what I do want to do, when I'm focused on that, 100% of the time I fail. 100% of the time when I surrender to Jesus and I say, Lord, I need help, and my focus goes to God, 100% of the time I don't fail. That's absolutely true. That's not me making it up. I've thought through it. 100% of the time when my focus is on when my focus is fighting the sin, whatever that is, okay, whatever it is, me being disobedient, 100% of the time when I'm trying to fight that, I fail. And 100% of the time when I surrender to Jesus and just focus on what He wants me to do, I succeed. Why do I say all that? Because so much of the time we're so sin focused. Even when we're trying to do the right thing, we're still sin focused. If we're just trying to do the right thing, we're using our own flesh, and we're still sin focused because we're trying to fight the temptation to either do or not do, right? But when we turn to Him and our attention goes to Him and we are focused on what it is that He wants us to do, or we're focused on, well, here's the thing. Many times the Lord will come to me and say, no, I don't want you to do that. And if He says that, normally He'll give me something else to do. Rarely does He tell me, no, don't do that, and then doesn't say anything else. Why? Because He knows that I'm going to be sin focused. He's going to give me something to do. Maybe it's pray, maybe it's read, maybe it's go for a run, maybe it's, whatever it is. Those are obviously, spiritual ones that we can point to. It might be something as simple as, you know what, I don't want you to watch TV right now. I want you to get up and go play with your kids. Something as simple as that. Well, I'm super tired. I know, but I don't want you watching TV. And listen, there's been times when I'm like, I'm so tired, I can't help it. I'm just going to turn the TV on and just kind of unplug for a minute. And you know what that leads me to? That leads me down the road to making bad choices. Maybe I snap at my boys when I wouldn't have if I'd have been playing with them. Maybe I'm lazy in doing something that the Lord did want me to do later, but because I gave in to being lazy here, I ended up being lazy there. Or whatever, right? It's just, it's so legalistic to sit there and look at a set of rules of what we should do and what we shouldn't do. So I started this whole thing off with 2 Timothy 2:13 saying He's faithful even when we aren't faithful. And why do I point that out? Because we need to remember that we serve a faithful God, that He is faithful no matter what. Why is that important? Because right now, in this moment, wherever we find ourselves, you might find yourself in this moment going, well, Aaron, I hear you, but you don't know what happened last night. You don't know what happened last week. You don't know what happened last month. You don't know what happened when I was a kid. You don't, like, all these things. Listen, God's still faithful. God is still faithful. And then I went to John 16. And you might say, yeah, every time I sin, because every time I'm unfaithful, I get that he's faithful. I get that. And you know what? He's always faithful to convict me of my sin. No, I think it's important that Jesus taught it the way that he did. I think it's important that we know as believers, if we've given our lives to Jesus, the Holy Spirit convicts us of righteousness. Why? Because that keeps us from being sin focused. As an unbeliever needs to know that they're a sinner. They need to know that. They need to know, hey, you have fallen short. All have sinned. All have fallen short. And you need Jesus. That's the only way you're going to get salvation. That's the only way you're going to heaven. An unbeliever does need to know that. And that sounds maybe kind of harsh. And hear me, I don't think we should sit on the corner and tell people they're sinners and that they're going to hell. Nor do I think you should take someone to coffee to tell them they're a sinner and that they're going to hell. But I do think the Holy Spirit comes and lets them look at their sin and go, man, with sin, you can't get to heaven. But with Jesus, you can. And then they give their lives to Jesus. And then what does the Holy Spirit do? He convicts us of righteousness. And why does he do that? To take our focus off of sin. 2 Corinthians 3:18, one of my favorite verses in the entire Bible, says, but we all with unveiled face, as beholding in a mirror, are being transformed. But we all with unveiled face are beholding as in a mirror the image of God and being transformed into the same glory as he is. Now that's probably not any translation other than my own, right? But what is that verse saying? That verse is saying, look, you're looking at God, and as you're looking at God, he transforms you more and more into his image. You look more and more like him the more you look at him. Okay? Now, that's true no matter what. No matter what you look at in this world, you're going to become more like. So if you spend the majority of your time looking at, say, the world through the news and media and social media, your life's going to look a lot like those things because we become like what we look at. And he's saying, if you look at me more and more, you're going to be transformed. You're going to look more like me. So why is it that as a believer, he wants us to be convicted of righteousness? Because he wants us to focus in on what we should do. And if we're focused on righteousness, and if we behold righteousness, and we behold that, letting go of the past and letting go of the sin that so easily entangles us, as Hebrews says, if we let go of that and just focus on the faithfulness of God and the righteousness that he has created us to walk in and given us the ability to walk in, then we walk in it. And so that's why I think it's so important right now that we remember that we serve a faithful God, no matter what we've done. Listen, even if you're a believer and you've messed up, I think we've all messed up, okay, as a believer. I don't think so. I would probably win that bet, okay? As a believer, we've messed up. He's still faithful. But he's going to come to you. The Holy Spirit's going to come to you and he's going to convict you of sin. I'm sorry. I said that backwards. He's going to convict you of righteousness. And if you feel convicted of your sin and your focus is on sin, that's the enemy of God trying to bring shame and put shame on you. The Holy Spirit convicts us of righteousness once we give our lives to Christ, so that we'll focus on righteousness, so that we'll become more and more like him, walking in righteousness. And if we feel like there's no way God could love us, there's no way God would come through for us, we don't deserve it, there's no way God could have a good plan for us because we've just not lived because of anything that we've done or not done, listen, that's the enemy. Because we have a verse, 2 Timothy 3:13, 2:13. Now my numbers are getting mixed up. 2 Timothy anyways. He is faithful even when we're not faithful. And he convicts us of righteousness. Anything else is from the enemy. And we can stand firm on that and know that we serve a good God. And he loves us. He loves us unconditionally. And there's nothing that we can do to earn his love, to earn his salvation. He's so good. Man, I hope that encourages you. Listen, you've got divine appointments waiting on you. You've got some set up. today for you. They're coming. They were set up for you before you were ever created. God has them in store just for you. And you need to know we serve a faithful God, even when we're not faithful. So right now in this moment, you can just look at God and say, thank you for your faithfulness. Thank you for your righteousness. Please help me see those appointments that you have for me. Please help me hear the words that I should say. Please help me step into the life that you've called me to live today. Not tomorrow, not next week, but today. Would you show me your goodness today? I believe that you're good. Show me your goodness. I want to walk with you starting right now for today. I want to start right now. I don't want to wait till tomorrow. I want to do it right now. And you watch the day that you have. And in fact, if you have amazing divine appointments today because you prayed that prayer, would you please come back and write in the comments just to give the quick testimony of what happened because you decided in this moment right now, I'm just going to do whatever God tells me to do today, and then come back and tell us the good news. Tell us the good news. Tell us what God did in your life as a result of that prayer. We would love to hear from you. Love you guys, and we'll see you next week.